Whether it's backpacking, camping, maybe preparedness, survival, or you're just going to a foreign country for fun, there's one thing we all need, and that's clean drinking water. You need to be able to trust the filter you pick. And for me, there's no better one than this, and that's why I'm doing a review. This is my review of the Katadyn Pocket Microfilter. So why this one, you might ask? Well, for me, I'm an avid hunter, avid backpacker. I love to go camping, hiking, and fishing. In fact, anytime I get free time from work, I just want to head to the mountains and go. I want to go out there and have something durable that I can use and abuse and not worry about it. If I whack it against a tree accidentally, it's going to be okay. If I drop it down a hillside, I don't have to worry about it. If I drop it on the rocks by the river, which happens to most people when they own a filter, I want to know that it'll last that drop. So I need to have something great. This is a ceramic filter, so you do have to keep it clean. Every other time that you use it, you just want to wipe it down, which is really low maintenance. And I hear a lot of people complain about that, but you know, it doesn't take much to unscrew it and just wipe down the outside of that ceramic filter, and I'll show you that later on in the video. But with that ceramic filter, you're going to filter 99.9% of bacteria, and you're going to filter 99.9% of cysts, so you don't have to worry about things like Giardia and Cryptosporidia, things you really don't want in your gut. Those things give you dysentery, and when you're in the mountains trying to have fun, and you get that, that's something you're going to have to wait out. So it might ruin your weekend, it might ruin your day, it might ruin a lot more than that, if you know what I mean. So I like to avoid that at all costs. So let's go ahead and open this up, and I'll show you what I have inside. Now the Katadyn Pocket Microfilter does come in this cool bag. It's nice and easy to use. It is durable. I mean, it's kind of heavy. If you're going for lightweight stuff, I can tell you this is probably not your filter. But if you're willing to sacrifice the weight, coming around 3 pounds, I believe, it will be worth it. It's actually a little less than that, but this bag with everything in it is about 3 pounds. So if I unzip the bag, you can see what we have inside. One being the filter. I'll set that aside. You get, this is that charcoal part I told you about. That'll filter even more, and it'll make it even guarded against some other things you can get. This is one of the hoses. Here's the other hose, the big hose. And you got some cleaning pads, some cleaning, just some materials and things like that. Stuff that's really easy to use. And I got some charcoal for the other filter. And I still keep the instructions in here. You can see they've been through a lot. So let me show you how to assemble this. Let me adjust the camera. Show you guys in a second. So first thing you want to do is find your intake hose. It has a little floaty here. You want to keep this thing as clean as possible, even though it's going to be in the water. The more crud you keep out of the filter, the longer it'll last. So you take the end, and I'll just set that aside here, and you get your filter. And on the bottom here is a little intake valve. All you got to do is push that on, and that's all it takes for that. And so you can see, now we're ready for that side. I'm going to set that down in here. Then we're going to grab our other hose. And this hose is going to be the one going in your bottle. It's very important when you do this, never let this touch the water, because if you get something on there, you might as well have not have purified the other stuff. So let me go ahead and show you to put that on. Same thing. We're going to just put it on by pushing it and turning it. And that's all it takes. So you can see that. Now when you're choosing a spot to put your intake hose, you want to adjust the floaty. You want to keep it off the bottom if you can. You don't want to have it in sediment. So what I like to do is find a little deeper part of the channel. Something like that where it's kind of floating. Let it float. And then adjust it a little bit because you want it just below the water. So I'll give it about that much more. You want that whole thing covered. And it's getting close. It's hard to do this in the camera. There we go. It's underneath the water, it's floating, and it's ready to go. Now, what we're going to do is take our filter on a hard surface, so you want something flat, like this rock here. You want to keep this above. So I like to hold that in my hand until I'm ready to use it. You take the pump, bring it back, and you start to slowly intake until the water comes out. It's nice and simple. You can get about, I'd say a liter and a half in a minute. Some people say more, some people say less. Through my use, that's what I've experienced. So what you want to do after that is find your bottle, which I have right here. And you're going to take that and make sure that doesn't touch the water also. So my bottle's here. Grab this little part of the hose that has this little click or hook thing and set it on the inside of the bottle, out of the way so it won't spill. That'll work. And I want to find my flat surface again. Sorry, I'm trying to find a better place for this bottle. There we go. And I'm going to start pumping slowly. Now when you first use this, you do want to charge it, which I've been using this all weekend. So it is charged. And that just means you kind of filter out. You know, if it's a brand new, it'll get rid of the ceramic taste at first. And if it's, you know, been used, it'll get rid of a lot of that other stuff that's been on there all weekend. See how long it takes to do this? I mean, the water will taste great. It'll taste like bottled water, a little better. And it'll taste better than bottled water. Now, one thing you got to remember is if you're in a place where there's mountain runoff from mines, this is something you don't want to use, even with the charcoal part. Sometimes that's something you just can't purify. You got to remember that. And I usually like to stop so the end of the hose doesn't touch the water. And there you have it. Katadyn pocket microfilter. Now let me take it apart and show you all the rest of it. Taste the water real quick. Tastes great. You guys probably saw at the end of the video, the tip of this did touch the water a tiny bit. If that happens, it's okay. Not the end of the world. Just find another place to pump. Pump it until stuff starts coming out. Get some on your hands. Wipe the outside. Just kind of clear it. And that should be all it takes. It shouldn't take any more unless you're in a very bad area. And right now I'm in the mountains of Montana by Lewistown, you know, 20-30 miles out. And there's really nothing that bad out here. Maybe some giardia, but nothing this filter can't handle. Anyway, so here's the filter. Let's disassemble it. First thing I like to do right away is take off my export hose and put that back in its bag. So I'm going to throw that in here real quick off camera. Sorry about that, but I don't want to get it dirty. And I zip that bag up and I throw it right back in the pack. Very important to me. Next thing I do, take off the other hose. Really nice and easy. I like to take it, hold it upside down, make sure there's no water hanging in it. I like to shake it out, let it kind of air dry a little bit. Because if this was infected water, you really don't want that in your pack the whole time. I like to squeeze out this little neoprene floaty here. And now that goes back in the pack. Now I do suggest when you get back from your trips, take these out by the sink, take them under the water, maybe filter some house water, and then let them air dry in your little basket. One thing I forgot to mention here, this is that little charcoal piece that just slips on between your hoses. It does have another little hose on it. And the great thing about this is it'll take away bad taste. It'll take away some chemical, and it just has activated carbon or activated charcoal. Anything you need to use that for, you can. It just enhances this and turns it more into a purifier rather than just a filter, and there is a difference. You'll hear people say things all the time that they have the best purifier in the world, and then they're just filters. This is just a really, really good filter until you add the carbon to it. Remember that. There's a big difference, and you'll pay for it in the price. So anyway, when you're ready, you got to unscrew here. You want to unscrew this whole base, because if you unscrew the top, just this little handle comes out. Kind of let the water drain out the bottom. When you first get this, you're going to have a really clean white filter. When I'm going to take it out right now, you're going to see it's going to be kind of dirty from all that sediment you wouldn't believe is in the mountains. I forgot to mention this also. This is a heavy machined aluminum base. It's something that, you know, is hard and durable, and pretty much the weight of this filter is here. But when you're getting durability, it's worth the sacrifice. So I'll set that aside, and we're going to slowly lift this, and you're going to see that kind of yellowish orange ceramic filter. And yes, they all are pre-tested before you get them. And all you have to do is wipe these down with this cloth and stuff. I'm not going to do it here because I'm going to keep using this weekend. And that's all it takes. And also, if you want, you can unscrew this piece. Kind of make sure there's nothing else. And it will release this little handle pump here. And that's what you're using to pump. It's very nice and simple. Not a lot to it. It just works. So reassemble it right away. Never leave it out, because we all know how that is. You'll forget something. And when I first bought this filter was around 200 bucks. Right now they're kind of up around 400. So this is something that holds its value and goes up in value. So remember that. Anyway, guys, if you have any questions, write it in the comments. Send me a message. Do video responses if you have one on your favorite filter. This one just happens to be mine. And I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching. Gotta love the mountains, right, pup? Is that right, warrior? Do you like it? I think you're a little tired. But you do gotta love them. Right here next to a little mountain stream coming from runoff from the mountains. And there it is. Up a bank that had some flooding, and out into the wilderness. Gotta love it.